What's good, pendejos? I'm just going to start swearing at you guys in other languages so I can try to make nice with the YouTube algorithm. Do you think they mind if I just swear at people in other languages? Chomakatsuka. I'm just going to say all the bad words in all the languages that I know and try to avoid saying the ones in English that get my videos throttled. Anyway, this is going to help. This introduction is going to help. My name is Ken, and I'm here to sell you some Kino Lorber 4Ks. Just kidding. I am actually known in some circles as Tard Kent, but maybe better known to my enemies, my lovers, and you scumbags as the man of shill. I'm here to shill some stuff, that's for sure. It was hard not to say the S word just then. I don't know how long I have to go without saying bad words to make nice with YouTube, but I don't like it. I'm going to try, but I'm going to fail. You guys are about to witness me failing spectacularly. Today, Criterion made an announcement that made my loins stir. I got a little excited. I'm not going to lie. I can't exactly put my finger on it, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to put my fingers all up on it and in it. It's consensual, don't worry. So today, as I'm recording this, Criterion just announced that they are putting out a 4K of William Friedkin's Sorcerer. Now, Sorcerer was made just after The Exorcist. He did The Exorcist in 73, and I think Sorcerer came out in 76 or 77. So it was hot on the heels of The Exorcist. So, he was coming off that hot shit. French Connection, The Exorcist. Hopefully it's been long enough because I just said shit. French Connection, The Exorcist. I told you guys I was going to fail at not swearing. It's going to get worse from here. So Friedkin was riding a high and glorious wave by the time he made Sorcerer because he'd really had been having quite a wonderful first half of the decade. We still talk about Exorcist. They're still making shitty Exorcist sequel, reboot, spin-off things. So the film had an impact. In the years following Sorcerer, Friedkin, of course, made Cruising. I think that was 1980, 81, something like that. Then he did To Live and Die in LA in the mid 80s, amongst other films. And RIP to Friedkin, he died back in 2023. So it's been almost 2 years since he passed at the ripe age of, I believe, 85, something like that. He was like mid to late 80s. So he made it longer than I'm gonna. But we are living in a good time. Friedkin might have died in 23, but we're living in a good time. If you're a fan of Friedkin's work, it's coming to 4K lately. Regrettably, it's been Kino releasing most of the 4Ks of Friedkin's film. They did Bug, The Hunted, and my personal favorite, To Live and Die in LA. I definitely would suckle a penis. Does YouTube mind if I put it? Maybe YouTube won't mind if I state it in a. I would fillet another adult male to get To Live and Die in LA and like a nice, like thick, chunky, robust. We need to stop calling it chunky because I feel like there's a negative connotation. It's very fat phobic, I believe, to call it chunky. I think we need to start calling it robust because that's what I call my belly. It's robust. I think we need to start calling it a robust box set. I want like a robust box set release, like on par with The Hitcher of To Live and Die in LA. And Kino gave it this little, just little thin little, here's one 4K disc and one Blu-ray disc and a slipcover in this thin little release, thinner than my dick, which is saying something. Anyway, I'm not here to bash Kino. I'll hold my boy Chase's beer while he does all the heavy lifting and all the Irishman style stomping on Kino. Of course, The Exorcist has been released to 4K by Warner Brothers. I think that happened a couple of years ago. Cruising was recently released to 4K. That was the most recent Friedkin 4K. Just came out in February, I think, from Arrow Video. And I've heard that looks incredible. I haven't had the pleasure yet, but I am vigorously rubbing my nipples in excitement of watching Cruising. And I'm going to get all the leather out of my house. I'm going to put on my wife's leather pants to watch Cruising, by the way. Okay. And if you don't, regular jeans instead of assless chaps, then you're not doing it right. You're not watching cruising the way God intended. Okay. So the bishop is here to tell you that's how you watch cruising. You put on your wife's leather, you make sure your ding dong and your balls are hanging out because that is how it was intended to be. Okay, that's Al Pacino approved. And now we're getting Sorcerer in June, so that's like just in time to buy it for 50% off during the Barnes and Noble Criterion sale in July. It's like they're gonna drop fucking boom, here's Sorcerer, and my cheap ass is gonna be like, all right, I'm just fucking counting down 31 more days until fucking I get to walk into Barnes and Noble in July and fucking cop that shit for $25. Because if you don't, you're just not spending your money wisely. But I'll create another video about how to properly obtain sales. Rumor even has it that French Connection is coming to 4K this year. I'm hearing rumblings that it's 2025. French Connection is coming to 4K. And with the recent passing of Gene Hackman, RIP, that's going to be a great one to revisit. I kind of wish Criterion had announced that one instead of Sorcerer. I'm still excited about Sorcerer. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like with Hackman having recently passed, that the time is now. We got to get on it. So somebody, one of you motherfuckers is out there watching. I know all of the boutiques watch this. They've got C-suite executives dedicated to watching my videos and listening to my wisdom. One of you motherfuckers is hearing these words need to put French Connection out really soon in a robust box set. Robust. That's when it's a level up from chunky. Chunky is, it's thick. Robust is like, you're gonna need an extra like heavy duty bed frame for this bitch because you're gonna bust a water bed with that robust box set. That's what I want for French Connection. So we might get 3 Friedkin films on 4K in 2025, and I'm all for it. I'm ready to spend as much as they request from me. I am ready to do it as long as it's 50% off in July at Barnes and Noble. Because I mean, why pay extra? And especially if it's not Kino Lorber doing the release. Don't fucking Kino, don't come to me with fucking French Connection. I'm gonna make another video where I really piss YouTube off with the F-bombs. Criterion's release of Sorcerer may have some Moana ass art. Last Movie Standing called it, but we were all thinking it. He said it out loud. My man Brian. Shit, I'm not even ashamed to say that I like Moana. It is a lesbian allegory, or it's an allegory for lesbianism, but I'll get into that in a separate video as well one of these days. I'm going to write up my whole I've seen Moana. I got 2 young daughters. I've seen Moana 50 times at least, and it is an allegory for lesbianism, and it is definitely like anti-patriarchy in its messaging, and I'll unpack that in a separate video if you guys are interested in hearing me deconstruct Moana. But there's also a lot of great special features coming with Sorcerer. I was looking at what's also included in addition to the film, because Lord knows I love my special features. Oh, Lord. Dear sweet Jesus. Look at those special features. It's 3 discs of fun, man. I mean, obviously, 1 disc is the 4K film, 1 disc is the film on Blu ray, but that 3rd disc is going to be chock full of good shit. There's a documentary focusing on Friedkin, of course, and including several notable filmmakers like Francis Ford Coppola and Quentin Tarantino. That should be excellent documentary. I would love to hear about intertextuality from his films to other films. I would love to hear about how he may have influenced other directors, both contemporaries of his like Coppola, as well as guys like Tarantino that came after. I'm fucking ready to hear that. I'm almost as hyped about that documentary as I am about the feature film itself. And there's some archival interviews with Friedkin. There's even a conversation from 2015 between Friedkin and Nicholas Winding Refn. I'd like to see you pronounce that name properly, mispronouncing media. Boo! Does YouTube mind if I use the middle finger? Is it the same as saying the F word? If I don't say the F word, but I just do the sign language for the F word, is like bad sign language allowed? Like, I know I'm not supposed to use bad language. YouTube doesn't like that, blah, blah, blah. But bad sign language, is that okay? I don't know. Boom, but I like it. And there are a couple other announcements that Criterion made today. Of course, they're releasing other films in June. It's not just Sorcerer. I'm excited about a few others. Brazil is a worthy upgrade. I do love Terry Gilliam, but my excitement there is somewhat tempered by the fact that it is, in my opinion, an inevitable format upgrade. Brazil is a film that has long been under the Criterion banner. Criterion first released it on DVD at least 20 years ago. It was probably '03, '02, '03. It was fairly early number in the Criterion oeuvre of their releases. And then, of course, Blu-ray probably 10 years ago, and now we're getting a 4K. So in 10 more years, who knows what Criterion is going to do with Brazil. But that tempers my excitement a little bit. But I will say that the restoration for Brazil is new, which is good. They're not like rehashing the 2003 restoration, because who wants to see a 20, 25-year-old restoration? They're redoing it. They're restoring it. Imagine that. Criterion's been around long enough that they've been able to restore a movie twice. So that should be a very worthy upgrade. You know, it's maybe not as exciting as something novel like Sorcerer, because I am distracted by bright colors and loud noises. I am an idiot. Against all odds, I'm also excited about The Wiz. I would not have imagined this. They're doing the fucking Wiz. Like, I didn't see that coming, but it's not like they consult me on their releases. I have some very early memories of watching The Wiz, like really insanely early memories of watching The Wiz with my mother and possibly with my father as well. They might have both been present for that. I think I caught it in part in the very early 80s on television, probably. Early 80s. I mean, 82, 83. It's a really, really early, very fuzzy memory for me. But, you know, hey, why not? I'll catch it again in 4K. The one that I'm really excited about, along with Sorcerer, is called Midnight. For one thing, I love screwball comedy. Call it a screwball comedy, and I'll buy it. Two, this Midnight is a film of the '30s, which is a golden era of Hollywood comedy. I love the comedies and romantic comedies of the 1930s. There's no beating them. Third, there's Claudette Colbert in this film. So Google her if you don't know who I'm talking about, but educate yourself. If you don't know who I'm talking about when I say Claudette Colbert, you should be ashamed of yourself and you should educate yourself. Okay, do the right thing, learn. Okay, fourth, the legendary Billy Wilder co-wrote Midnight. So, you know, he's the guy who did Some Like It Hot, Sunset Boulevard, Double Indemnity, a bunch of stuff. So Billy Wilder is nothing short of a legend, and he co-wrote the script for Midnight. So this is going to be like July 1 purchase. I'm already fantasizing about, like, I'm going to march down to the Barnes and Noble. I'm gonna do it like right before they close, so I can like hit the bar, have a few shots, and I'm gonna fucking stroll on over to that Barnes and Noble. I'm gonna kick that front door in. I'm just gonna boot it open. I'm not gonna touch that door with my hands. I might even wear my cowboy boots. I just kick that door in. I'm just gonna fucking saunter in. I'm gonna slap some fucking manga off the shelf and say, "Get the fuck out of here with this shit. I didn't come here for the fucking Japanese cartoons. Get the fuck out of here." Y'all don't know this, but I'm a gangsta ass motherfucker. And I'm just gonna walk over there. I'm gonna grab Sorcerer and Midnight. I'll fucking push a nerd out of my way. I'll be like, "Get out of here, nerd. Go buy some vinyl or some shit like that." I'm buying these motherfucking movies. So my only complaint with Midnight is that despite a 4K scan, Criterion is only offering Midnight on Blu-ray, at least for now. So all things considered, for me at least, this is Criterion's most exciting month since July of last year. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm smoking crack. I am. Or if you agree with me that this is a big dick month for the old Criterion collection. And anyway, you better go buy Sorcerer. I want to get more Friedkin on 4K. Y'all better buy Midnight too. I'm just saying, Criterion is not going to let me keep shilling for them if y'all don't get out there and help me move some fucking units. Son, I'm trying to keep them free movies rolling in. You think I want to buy these shits with my own money? Hell no. I like free shit, especially free movies. So go buy lots and lots of Criterions and tell them the Bishop sent you, the Bishop of Bow Moose, or Jay or Tard Can or whatever the fuck my name is for this video. You just let them know it was me, motherfuckers. You better tell them it was me. I want credit. I'm getting credit. I'm getting a big old box of free Criterions on Monday. Shit. And now you hookers and hoes know how I feel.